video on determinism and free will. So this video will be about the responsibility factor when it comes to determinism. A libertarian usually argues for the implications of determinism. Usually can't argue against determinism because it seems so self-apparent. They have to argue that they don't like the fact that we cannot choose, ultimately. That what we do is determined. Gosh, that just throws you off the logical track. Anyways, what we do is determined, and they don't like it. They argue that we have no responsibility then. We have no accountability. Well, the thing is with responsibility is that we still do have it because we did what we did. Now, the point I'd like to make is that just because we did it doesn't mean that we deserve retribution. And I'm going to argue that free will, absolute sense of free will, not the limited sense of free will, absolute sense of free will, if we have an absolute sense to choose between good and evil, it is somewhat justified that you could essentially, be retributive to someone who is evil. Now, that would kind of say that they kind of deserve it because they chose evil and they'll choose evil again and they're an evil person. And I guess they can be forgiven because there's, of course, the religion that comes along with it. But essentially, we're all evil by birth, whatever. Anyways, that is not very good, in my opinion. But let's look at determinism. If no one is actually responsible for what they do, essentially do everything for a deterministic reason, somewhere along the lines their environment influenced them to do something, somewhere along the lines they were determined to do this or that, this means that they now have responsibility for what they did, but in truth, they're not really guilty of anything. We only do what we do to them because we have to do it. We only put them in jail because we can't let them intermingle with the population and commit another crime. It's really utilitarian principles, which in my opinion are usually weak, but it makes sense that we need to do something. Now, as, a libertarian, I have ways of doing justice that do not coerce them necessarily, but I won't go into that. It's not really important for the debate. The point is that when you're a determinist, I think the way you should be looking at things, one of the advantages of determinism is that you think about things and you say, this person did something that was awful, yes. But does he deserve a death? Essentially, you can make the case that he was completely a product of the environment like you and I are. So how is he really, truly, honestly guilty? I don't think he is honestly guilty of anything. Now, absolutely, he's guilty of what he did. He's responsible for it, but I don't think he deserves to die. Right there, I kind of ruled death penalty, just saying that just because they're not obviously responsible for what they did, we can't really morally kill them for it. Murder begets more murder. A negative plus negative does not equal a positive. Killing someone for killing is not good. And because of this, because we can't do that, the reason why we put people in jail, the reason why we imprison them, is to teach them a lesson. It's about, I can't believe I'm forgetting the word. Rehabilitation. It's about rehabilitating them so they can go back to society, so they can operate again, so they can be self-sufficient. That's what it's all about. That's why we put people in jail. That's why we should put people in jail. It shouldn't just be a holding cell for the evil. It should be a place where people learn to operate in society. And I think from the deterministic standpoint, that's how all of it, our judicial system should operate. It should be about, getting revenge. It shouldn't be about, attacking evil. It should be about rehabilitating people when they fall. I'm not saying their actions don't deserve, what they did was justified. I'm just saying that because of this, because that they are essentially determined like we were, we can't morally kill them. And the best thing we can possibly do for ourselves and our society is rehabilitate them. That's where I stand. That's what I think we should do. And because of that, I think it makes, in a sense, determinism, despite the fact that people may not like it and people may believe that we talk as if we have an absolute sense of free will, even though we don't. And I think to a degree we know we don't. Because obviously you can't swim to school despite how much you would like to. Despite the fact that we don't have that absolute sense of free will. I lost my train of thought. Anyways, I think determinism is a good idea. You should really think about it. I think it has a lot of positive benefits rather than, I think a libertarian can hardly argue against the good benefits because, in a sense, they agree with them. I have yet to meet a person who thought rehabilitation was completely a waste. You have to be a pretty vindictive bastard to do that. So that's my thoughts on determinism and libertarianism. I hope they were interesting. You have any criticism? Think I maybe have, straw man some points? I'm willing to listen. So, thanks for watching.